All right. Gotham, city of glittering heights and blood-stained alleyways. Not too long ago, a coterie of kindred found a mage-turned-vampire, and according to rumor, they drank him dry. He had it coming, at least. He stole secrets from covenants and used his mystical knowledge to pervert a classical duel into an assassination tool. The winds are changing, though, figuratively and literally. After the heat wave earlier this week, every layer of Gotham has been lashed by harsh cold winds, and now it's beginning to pour like a biblical flood. It's perfectly normal, says the weatherman, as the low pressure system has finally hit a cold front from the north. Anyone with the slightest awareness of the strange knows that's not the real reason, the real cause. Something happened, but at least as far as the kindred are concerned, it doesn't have to be any of their business. Let's see. Let me turn on some. Let's go with longest reign. There we go. Yeah. And let's start off with Adam.
Yep.
All right. Got to do this and then that. Adam, after the estate sale of the old bookstore owner, you finally moved into the property. It took a night or two, but you and Greg have finally cleared out enough of the bookstore's backroom clutter to fill it back up with your own clutter. The front seems presentable enough, but the spaces behind and above were rotting collections of cardboard boxes and unread, unsellable books.
Yeah.
The upper floors work well as a living space, even if every step still makes the floor creak and the inner rooms are well protected from the sun.
Well, good.
Below,
That's why if someone is trying to break in, I will hear him.
oh
Oh, hello.
yes, but below, the bookstore is all anyone would see, unless invited into the back storerooms. You recall events that led you here. Wildcat taking you from the gallery, worried about the dangerous eyes she may have drawn to herself and you. I did not think the prediction given to me would come to pass in this way, but I must act quickly. If you had gone, I'm certain you and the others would have died. Their eyes are on us, but I hope with the coming distraction they'll ignore us. The world around you begins to shrink, reality confined to a single step of space as Wildcat begins to fade from view. Nobody will find you here while the spell lasts. Adam, in another life, I'll feel like you could have seen the truth of the universes as I do. Don't let the lies around you and the others consume you. Stay safe. You stayed trapped for hours until you finally reconnected to the rest of the world, free to move. Time was short, the sun would return in no time, but on the way home, you saw the very estate sale that you took advantage of, right on the same street you had died on. Now, the branch she left you has grown in its pot, silver bark, golden leaves, patiently waiting to grow beyond its confines.
Mm.
Your daydream remembrance is interrupted as George bumbles through the bookstore, pushing boxes out of his way as he makes his way towards the front door.
Hey, George.
Hmm? Oh, hey, what's up?
Nothing much, and you?
I was thinking of going out for a drive or something. Feel a little cooped up after being a mover boy.
Sure. You want me to come with you?
I don't know. I was thinking of going a little recklessly.
All
I'm not
right.
sure you have fond memories of fast vehicles at this point.
Not yes. Well, as long as you don't run over anyone, I'm fine with it.
Well, goal isn't to run anyone over, but I just gotta go fast.
All right. Just don't try to not crash into something.
It's okay. If I do, it'll be someone else's car.
Well, All right, at least just take this time to, while you're driving at God knows what in someone else's car, try to think about your family and friends and everything because that will come up eventually, and I will try to help you with it. But
Oh yeah, I got a plan for that, I think.
what's your plan?
A couple of them at least know I'm not dead yet, so that's good. I'm gonna see if I can convince them to have me on a more distant work schedule, if you know what I mean.
All right. Well,
Keep in contact, but not have to actually do anything anymore.
that's smart. Listen, if you need any help, just tell me, and I will take care of that for you.
Oh, I'll give you a call if someone needs a scare. Maybe you could summon up that giant alligator thing again.
Mm, we'll see about that.
He starts to turn and go towards the door, the bell of the bookstore ringing, and he
Oh,
immediately like stops as the door hits something, and he's like, "Huh?" He picks it up and brings it back in. Uh, the package is a cardboard box in plain brown paper, wrapped up in a piece of pink party ribbon. There's no postage on it, just the words to Adam.
all right. Well, that seems like a good time to use those specs.
All right, go ahead and give us the first roll.
Excuse me again.
Is the package dangerous?
See that roll.
Oh, sorry.
No.
All right. Well, I will open it delicately.
All right. You open it up. The packing paper folds away. You open up the top of the box, and in the box is a statue of a lioness made of snow white alabaster, sitting on its side watchfully. Its eyes, ears, and claws are painted deep black, and its tongue is a lively red. In its mouth are sharp fangs that begin to drip drops of blood as you hold it. Along with the statue is a bound journal. On a brief glance, it appears to hint at the histories of a handful of artifacts that may have ended up in Gotham over the years. There's a small little card inside, and it reads, "A blessing from Mother. She hides them in the darkest corners for loyal children. Moonshadow."
Huh. All right. Hmm. That's good, I guess. That's good, yeah. That's good.
This artifact, most definitely will count as a gift from the mother for the purposes of your cult, being
Nice.
the central object.
Well, I will take the journal and put the statue in a safe location for now.
Hmm.
However, yet I will like take some sort of, um, mm, a shoulder bag, and put it in there with along with other things I might need, like
Hmm.
journal, a pen, a paper, my gun, some cash, thing like that.
Right. You can definitely have a small safe for all that.
No, I mean on myself at all
Oh.
time. I have a small safe, I think, but
Hmm.
like just on my bag, and I will have a shoulder bag or something like that too.
All right. The question comes, what are you going to do tonight? You could meet up with those you arranged to start your cult with if you wanted.
Oh yes, we'll do that.
All right. So the next time Adam comes up, he will be going to meet with his cult. Think about where exactly you planned to do that and what.
Yep.
And we'll come back to that once we establish everyone else. Let's go next to Teddy. Teddy. Actually, let's go ahead and stop a moment, and since we have a mostly new cast, let's introduce Adam. Could you describe Adam real quick for everyone?
Adam is looks like a mid 20 something young man with brown short hair, a brown short beard,
Hmm.
and he's not tall. He's like fuck. I don't know if it's your uh, um. Well, he's not tall. He's rather small, kind of leaf, not bit lean, not really. He has a kind of ashen tint to his skin and piercing green eyes.
There we
Kind
go.
of looks like a hipster, or he's usually wearing a leather vest and a Cthulhu shirt underneath with jeans.
Yeah, there we go. And up next is Teddy. Teddy, would you like to describe what you look like?
So Teddy looks like a fairly young-ish man, like again mid-20s,
Hmm.
long unkempt hair. So he is a Nosferatu, meaning he gets and his disfigurement is that his eyes are all the white part of where his eyes would normally be white, they are black, and his irises are blood red. So yeah, and then he typically wears just whatever he can find laying around. It's usually
Hmm.
sweatpants and hoodies.
There we go. This is our new nerd. Um, let's see. Established commentary. It's fortunate you didn't even have to go out into the rain tonight for a bite. Otherwise, you'd have been late for tonight's raid. Your
Yep.
room is tiny, barely enough room for the bed and desk. No windows, just how your condition demands it. And you're building poor enough that nobody assumes you have anything worth stealing. Tonight, the guild is mostly making a huff over Sensei Ninja 77 not showing at all again. He's always disappearing like this. Who cares? Not like we actually enforce attendance, though. Another voice pops up. Yeah, but it's not like he's online anywhere else. Dude's straight up missing. He's always saying he's doing some cool crime or something. Maybe Johnny got him. Shut up with that urban legend nonsense. You know he doesn't leave his basement anyway.
Do any of
And
us at this point?
everyone gives a little bit of a giggle. And some voices get a little more serious. Look, I tried calling him. He's not picking up. I bet something's up. Maybe that cancer he jokes about is real. Someone else just comes in dismissively. No way. Besides, if he wants to talk, he'll always end up being the one to call. Does that crazy no call tracker business too.
What
Didn't
was
he
that
get
like?
into an argument with Gear Grinder last week? He's not online either. I bet they're settling it like men. Duel to the death. And everyone just kind of laughs at it. And seems ready to go along and ignore these two disappearing utterly. What do you want to do?
I don't know if Auspex could. I don't have anything in Auspex that could actually help me here. Uh,
I think that normally reads a room.
well, yeah, but the the first thought of Auspex it kind of implies is just general, kind of sensing like something is bad, something bad is going to happen, or something or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
like you can read like, oh like you could use it to theoretically say, oh shit, there are people coming, but whatever, it's not gonna help me. I could go check on them. I'm just gonna say I could go check on them if anyone cares. Does anyone know their address?
Everyone at that question kind of racks their brains for a bit and goes, "Nah, I don't think so. We barely have
Great.
their phone numbers.
Well,
At least
that's
Sensei
close
Ninjas."
enough. That's close enough.
All right.
So what
And I
do I
guess
have
just
to
for
roll to?
reference, I totally would give you an aspect roll for a bad feeling if you wanted.
That's not what I'm gonna do. It's not really any.
Okay.
So
All right, but you do at
what do
least
I
have
roll
all
to?
their phone numbers, and you do at least know enough online information about the two of them to do something.
What do I roll to trace the phone number to wherever the phone
First
is
hack and roll of
currently?
the game. Let's go with int computers, obviously a specialty of hacking. And
Yeah.
let's go with just a -2 because it is protected information.
So that's a -1, which is still 7 dice. 3 successes. Oh wait, I should get 9 again on that. So I only roll 1 more dice. So that is still 3 successes, and I got 9 again because computer is one of my professional training asset skills. So
Ooh, nice. Let me do one thing right here real quick. There we go. All right. So that is definitely enough successes to backtrace where those phone numbers are located and where they connect from. Which one are you trying to locate? Gear Grinder or Sensei Ninja?
which one has been missing for longer?
Sensei Ninja.
Then I'm going after him.
Alright, you definitely have his address, and it's about as run down an apartment as your own if you wanted to go there.
Yeah, I do.
Alright, you don't even have to change levels. You take a quick rail line over and head out towards his apartment. Go ahead and give me a wits composure type perception check. It is wits composure, right? I keep forgetting every time.
Yes, it is
There we go.
wits composure. Hold on. Teddy talk. Uh, no.
Teddy
Okay.
here at TED
This
Talk.
Does us. Okay. I thought for some reason Auspex gave some for a bonus on perception rolls.
Nope.
All right. You begin to walk through the apartment, and as you walk, you kind of see spots on the ground that light up a little bit more than usual. And a familiar scent trickles through your nose. Little splotches of blood become more and more prominent the closer you get towards what you assume is his apartment.
I'm gonna roll wits plus empathy
Uh-huh.
plus my Auspex to activate the Beast's Hackles power to see, is this a bad idea? Oh, okay, I got nothing.
The voices in your head are a little bit too confused. All you get is the sound of gears grinding against each other. Meaningless and devoid of nothing.
All
The
right, let's
door,
go
though,
in.
is right in front of you.
I open the door.
It is unlocked. As you swing open, it opens up into an apartment slightly larger than your own and far cleaner. It actually looks very well kept, except for the computer desk towards one wall, covered in empty bags of Cheetos and Mountain Dew and dozens of poorly labeled discs just all over the place. But interestingly enough, the chair is toppled over, and on the ground next to the chair is a very noticeable dried pool of blood.
What would I roll to try to determine how old this blood? I guess that would be the Auspex 3, which I don't have.
Very good question. I'm taking some suggestions for that. Int medicine definitely could.
Okay.
Wits investigation could also work for a general feel of it.
I'll do wits investigation because
It's something you actually have.
yeah.
There you go.
So
And I guess for the specific information, yeah, that's fine. Okay, one success. So you generally have a feel of how quickly nerd fluids absorb into carpet. And you're pretty sure this is at the very least older than a day, and the way it's been discolored, you can only imagine it must have occurred shortly after he disappeared from online. So roughly the past 2 days.
huh. Is there anything else that could help me figure out what happened here?
Good question. What do you want to try to find?
Any other clues as to where this where is there any sign of, besides the blood, is there any other sign of a person being here and or trying to leave?
Aside from the carpet and obvious signs of a struggle, not too much.
Uh-huh. I'm going to investigate the signs of the struggle closer and try to see and kind of look at it. Just like
Mhm.
does it look like it was signs of a mundane struggle? Like no one was doing anything to enhance themselves.
As far as you can tell, someone must have come in and there was just a small fight in the center. It's hard to really gauge if someone was being superhuman about it.
Uh-huh.
But go ahead and give me one more wits investigation roll at -2.
I'll spend a willpower on this.
Okay then. Checking around, you start to notice that there's some very odd metal shards tossed around the room, and one of them appears to have embedded itself into the wall deeply enough to not have been observable outside of a crack.
Something. Okay, so like what's kind of the scat? Is it just all around the room embedded in everything?
It seems a little bit directed, as if someone was at the door and threw it in the direction of the computer.
Okay. So Tay's just going to say out loud. Okay, so someone has grenades. That's good to know.
It definitely does not seem like a grenade. There's no signs of an explosion here.
Shrapnel cannon? What the hell could... And he's just going to try to take one of these shards of metal
Mhm.
and just kind of put it in his pocket for later.
You pick up one of the shards and turn it around, and you can see some faded paint on it. It appears that there was some kind of industrial label on it. You might be able to read it.
What would I roll to read it?
Let's go ahead and go with wits composure to see if you can just interpret what you're seeing there.
Easy enough.
One success. I didn't actually think of a name for this earlier, so I'm going to come up with a kick-ass name here, and I'm going to go with Firebrand Industries. There we go. Firebrand Industries.
Teddy would probably have his laptop on him, so he's just going to take that out and kind of try to clear a spot away on the desk and look up Firebrand Industries.
You shove some old Cheetos and unwanted discs aside and set up your laptop. What you
That's
gonna
the
do?
one thing I don't miss about being human. I'm looking on the internet for. I'm basically searching Firebrand Industries.
Firebrand Industries, you find out quickly, is a metallurgy company. It has a small industry here inside Gotham itself and quite a number of warehouses. It seems that the warehouses are also a side business of it, and you can rent one now for the low price of just $3,000 a month.
Huh. If only I had money.
Act now and you'll get a $500 discount.
Okay, is this like a pop-up ad?
Yes, indeed, a pop-up ad on its own site.
Yeah, I'm going.
You're the 500 millionth
What?
and 332nd customer.
That seems improbable. And Teddy's just going to kind of close out of that.
Close it up
Where's
before it
their
infects your computer.
Where is their nearest office?
Their nearest office is actually far away from their own industry. It is somewhere in downtown. You could get there via bus or rail.
So Teddy is going to make a mental note of that. And then he's also going to look up the address for the other person who went missing. See
Mhm.
because once is an anomaly, but gotta make sure.
All
So
right.
what do I roll to track the other guy?
Same thing as before. Protected information. In computers hacking -2.
Wait, no, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to search this place to try to find Sensei's phone because that's what I tracked here. Because his phone would be here, right?
For that, yes, indeed. You see his phone sitting on his desk.
I'm just going to pick up and turn it on to see what's happening.
It appears to be out of batteries. Or out of charge, I should say.
He's still going to put it in his pocket for later, and now he's going to try to track the other phone.
All right. You go ahead and try to track the other one. Go ahead and give me that roll.
Exceptional.
There you go.
And again, I forgot to do 9 again, so I probably could have gotten more. It doesn't matter.
Well, 5 still gets you everything you want to know.
I know, but so I'm not going to bother.
Which in this case is not only the address it's registered to, which is another lower down inner city apartment. Not only does it tell you the general area that phone is right now, it also could possibly let you access its internal microphone electronically right now.
Yeah, let's do that.
And right now, you hear the grinding of metal and gears.
Like from the phone? Like from this phone speakers?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Okay, that's what the fuck is happening? Okay.
But you do know exactly which location it is at, and it is at a Firebrand branded Industries warehouse.
Oh, it is. Okay. Can I use my can I spend a VT to use Auspex to try to tell, is it a bad idea to go to this place?
Go ahead and roll. You've used Auspex once the scene. Go ahead and spend a blood to do so.
Yes. So this is empathy. Then Auspex. I'm also going to spend a willpower on this, because
Hmm.
hot dang.
Let's see if you can get 5 against on this too.
Oh, whoops. I forgot to roll. I forgot to add the. There we go. 1 success, which is normally 1, but the unique devotion my bloodline has allows me to get a number of bonus, a number of free insights equal to on his targets equal to his Auspex dots, meaning I get 3 instead of 1. So, is it a bad idea? How dangerous is going to this warehouse that I found?
Grinding rusted metal, ozone, electricity, and spilling blood. Rampant voices cheering.
That's really the only question I had. That's really the only insight I needed, so I'm just gonna not use the rest of them then. So, huh. Not entirely sure how to interpret that. Okay, I'm gonna go. Teddy is going to go investigate that location.
All right, Teddy, let's go into the warehouse. It looks like Az has disappeared.
It does.
Does anyone? What do we do about this? I was about to do Az and Theta together. He's just not online. He's completely popped off.
Okay, that's
Just like last time.
That's unfortunate. Well, Theta, congratulations. You are alone. You are going to be in an Order Dracul boardroom. Describe your character. Describe Balak.
I'm playing Balak Rotelet. He is a very short man. His typical form of dress is imagine like a newsy trench coat, one of those ones that buttons up in the front and has that belt across to keep it closed. He tends to always keep his hands in his pockets. He's got a very I can only describe as a scoliosis frame, in that he's always hunched forwards and his neck is always a little bit extended out, so he's like his face is over stretching across his body. He's got long brown hair, well, long to like mid-back brown hair. He's got a scar over his right eye, which he keeps closed basically all the time, so he's only looking around with his left eye. And he's got wiry lips that always look to give his face a unpleasant expression.
Very nice. So, the one of you has received word. The Order Dracul wants you for an assignment. Lucas Wheeler Hospital and Institute of Medicine has a few ways in, but through the front and into the necrosis study ward, as if it was normal business, is by far the easiest. You're scheduled for your meeting, a simple boardroom on the lowest level, where a short, black-haired Romanian in a brown trench coat invites you in. I need water or something.
Oh, I thought you were trying to prep a Romanian accent.
No, I'm not brave enough for that. Alright, that's better. But he looks over at you and goes, come in, friend. I'm Jazik. It's good to meet you.
And yet you tried.
I've tried.
Yeah.
There are 3 folders on the table. One is of a each of them describes a different person. It appears to be a personnel folder. One is of a ridiculously built giant bald man, Jack Steele, former American Special Forces, deployed for the Somali Civil War in 2016, and augmented with metal throughout his body to be indestructible. Arms and legs integrated with machinery for maximum strength and endurance. He is described as armed and dangerous with a bow, and is a level 8 threat, just below unignorable threats to the Masquerade, Strix, and Traitors. Threat level pending increase upon investigation. The second is Harold Beaufort, a portly-looking man with a beard down to his waist. He's a mechanical engineer with high ambitions and eagerness to work on certain Ordo Dracul experiments. He possesses control over metal, a perfect tool for his expertise. Though the limits of his power are still unknown, he has shown a finesse in its application. He is rated a level 9 threat. And the last is Victor Lucius, a grizzled-looking bearded man. His steadfastness is ranked level 9 and is predicted to not falter in the face of even the greatest occult threats out in the wild. He's been augmented with the ability to create and control fire, and even render himself invulnerable to it in time, an immense advantage for a kindred. He and his sire have been missing for over a month, and is now labeled a level 9 threat. Logic kind of shakes his head a little bit as you read through them and goes, "Don't let the rating system scare you. The bureaucrats are always overly cautious. These are 3 missing kindred of ours. Our goal is to discover their fate. Though I believe them to be dead, caution dictates that I act as a special guardian against Jack, for the time being. Young kindred often get it into their heads, young kindred often get it into their head that their power, gained or granted by our experiments, and their general resistance to the sun, can surprise and challenge us as they seek to redress some wrong or gain yet more power. While I'm forced to stay here, you and hopefully my child, if he were to be on time for once, should investigate. If they are indeed dead, you need do little more than confirm the cause, although their bodies would be appreciated. If they are alive, I leave you to use your discretion, and perhaps tell them that they ought to report in. Needless to say, they are uncannily dangerous in their own ways. At this stage, it's not necessary to end them, if they are indeed the threats they are believed to be. Do you understand all this?
Before I respond to that question, I'm speaking out of character right now. It's not how Valak talks.
Okay.
Is there any chance that my character would know these people?
You would definitely not have necessarily heard of Jack or Victor before, but you might have heard about Harold if you want to roll an intelligence politics roll, with a bonus towards Order Dracul if you have a specialty.
I'm gonna say I don't know.
Alright, you don't know them. You kind of stick to your own experiments, and other people keep to theirs, and crosstalk isn't necessarily the best idea in an organization about keeping secrets.
Right. Bellic is going to pause for a moment and then say, where would we start?
Well, we do have a few last known locations and alliances. We should go over by them one by one. Victor was last known to inhabit the sewers of Gotham. We tend to avoid using it due to Lillian Hunt, a Nosferatu who claims it as her own, and leads other Nosferatu to the same effect. It may be difficult to determine where he is if he's in hiding. Jack was last known to be working with an odd coterie, attempting to capture Mr. Ryugi, the man responsible for that dueling scandal and the thefts from our own libraries. The current rumor is that Jack diablerized Mr. Ryugi. If Mercia was here, he should be able to determine that easily. A simple place to begin would perhaps be to question his allies. There was a Gotham University professor, Thomas Locke, a lone gangrel with no known haven, Sarah Hayes, a wealthy Nosferatu named Guntram Goodweather, and a self-styled occultist named Adam Thalher. Harold was last seen leaving this location and has not re-emerged at his assigned haven, nor responded to contact. We did not know him to have contact with any other kindred on a regular basis outside of this organization, but we did see signs of mental instability. It is possible he's acting on this instability. If he is working alongside Jack, however, you are to ensure his final death above all else. The bureaucrats would call him a level 10 threat if that was the case. My suggestion would be to start with his haven and poke around.
Another long pause before Balak says, "So none of these are retrievals, then?"
They are retrievals if they are not necessarily the threats they are believed to be. But, well, as I said, use your judgment. If they have betrayed us, if they have plans other than to come back, then they are secrets we would like others not to know about. And as I said, if Harold Beaufort is working with Jack Steele, he is undoubtedly a threat we must eliminate beyond all else at all costs.
Does that not then make Jack Steele a candidate for final death as well?
Quite possibly. However, we simply just don't know what he's doing, where he is, or if he's working with anyone. He, however, is not, what is the word? Host to the secrets that Harold is. Hence why Harold is perceived as the greater, institutional threat. Jack is, of course, an incredible physical threat, and should never be underestimated.
Out of character, which one of these had the lowest threat level?
Victor at level 8, I believe, wasn't it?
I
Let me
remember one of them
double-check
had
that.
level 8
No,
and one had level
Jack
9.
was at level 8. He is not necessarily a traitor yet.
Victor was 9.
Victor was 9.
And
Been
Harold
missing
is
for a month.
Harold is 9 and is considered possibly a 10.
Yes, possibly a 10 if he's working with Jack. About this time, Merci, you finally show up to the meeting. Go ahead and describe your character.
Who, me?
Yes.
Okay. Well then, Mircha is about 5'10" of 10. He has blonde hair, looks pretty pasty, but yeah, all vampires look pretty pasty. And he's got also has a pair of green eyes jutting out from his face. Well, he is clad in a manner of someone who doesn't want to be noticed as well.
All right. And as you walk in, Zajik, your mentor and sire, looks at you, crosses his arms, and just shakes his head at you. Oh, what kept you?
You, you know me. I'm one who's fairly engrossed in his books.
You can't just let yourself be distracted by good books like this.
Yes, I know.
Besides, you should have been practicing or training instead. And I just did the briefing with Balak here. He's going to have to hear this all over again. And he goes ahead and re-explains the information given to you. I sent you a message with that. And hopefully you two will be on the same page right now. As you two will be working together to investigate.
It shall be done.
Well, I suppose I should allow you two to do your investigation as you wish then. And if you require my assistance, you know where to find me. I'll be stuck here for a few days. So please try to finish this as quickly as possible. I don't want to stay here forever. Oh! And merci! I met the most interesting fellow not too long ago. And I'd like you to meet him tomorrow night. His name is
Yeah.
Gene Cross. He runs a swordsmanship school, specifically for kindred. I think you could find sparring partners there. Perhaps, expand your expertise a little bit. I'm afraid my lessons might be getting a little bit stale.
Yeah, from what with your experience, one it can never grow stale.
But true. But if you face off with the same opponent long enough, you're not necessarily learning anything new other than how to fight me. Which, well, maybe that could come in useful for you sometime. But, well,
True, the dragon must be adaptable.
but still, here's the address of where he plans to meet tomorrow at this time. If you go there, I'd be very happy.
That I shall do.
And at this point, Zajik is ready to leave the room and leave you to your devices if you have no further questions for him.
Again, slight pause. Are there any reference contact addresses?
For which person?
Any?
For Harold, you do in fact, have the location of his assigned haven that you could go to. For Jack, you know that he was in possession of a vehicle according to his personnel file, and that there should in fact be a tracer on said vehicle to allow you to find him. He apparently sleeps in it. Not the worst option. Victor is more of a mystery. His sire did not let others know where he lived, but they are known to be in the sewers. That is about it. It may be the most difficult to find without further assistance.
I have to throw this out there out of character. And I'm aware this might be like meta knowledge, but that's why I'm going to ask out of character. Just to make sure that it's not in the paperwork. That the fact that there would be a connection between Jack and Victor in the people that they hung out with. The courtier, as it were.
The Ordo Dracul, out of character, does not appear to know that Victor worked with anyone else.
Oh, I thought you said specifically that he was known to have hung out with a courtier.
Jack was. Because
Okay.
Jack came back and reported all of that.
Okay, because I thought you said that was about Victor, and I assumed Jack would have said something, so I thought there would have been obvious crossover to investigate with. Alright, never mind then.
Alright then. But this is what you do have to start with, and you two must find a means to investigate.
Very well.
Alright, well, Valak is gonna walk out the room.
Where do you want to go?
I guess I'm gonna go to Harold's assigned haven.
All right, and
I
your child, you're
wanted.
going as well.
Yeah. For me, it generally make more sense to try and look into a local Elysium.
And what do you plan to do with that Elysium, by the way?
Yeah, the plan is to mingle in here, a local gossip, scan a few locals, and, well, just ease my way into local kindred society.
Okay then. So I'll handle you next. We'll go ahead and go with Theta first. The two of you split up. Do you share contact information with each other at all?
Yeah, couldn't hurt to do so.
Block, do you share that back?
Block? Did you just call me Block?
Balak.
I sound like a character from
It kind of
Borderlands
merges
now.
together.
Call me Brick. I
but do you-
assume it's a matter of record, isn't it?
Well, this is just to confirm it in case it pops up earlier and someone goes, "Oh, I didn't share."
Yeah, sure. I guess I'd share.
Okay, there we go then. All right then. So you go ahead and head off to Harold's Assigned Haven. It's a little bit of a shithole. You have to go down to one of the lower levels of Gotham, wind your way through some back alleyways, and finally into up to a barred metal grate over a door into some shitty apartments. There's a single buzzer.
I'll push the buzzer.
You push the buzzer and wait a reasonable amount of time, and you don't get an answer.
I knock on the door.
You knock, and after a moment, you actually have someone come up behind the door, and through the door, kind of shout out, "Who is it? Don't you have a key?"
No.
"Well, get out! Unless you're buying.
I'm buying.
How much you got? Can you pay for rent? How many months?
One.
One? Alright. That's like 1,000. You got 1,000?
2 data resources would be 1,000, right?
Absolutely.
How about 1 data resource?
Oh, one dark odd might be a few hundred on hand.
That's fine. I'll do that, roll of ones with 100 on the outside. I assume there's some sort of peephole or something.
Yes, indeed. And you hold it up, and a short moment after seeing that visual, the door opens. And you just see kind of an old, balding, bent man at the door in like a dirty white t-shirt and boxers he probably shouldn't be wearing to a door. And he just kind of looks up and he goes, all right, yeah. Well, you got the front payment then? And he just goes ahead and hands out his hand for the money.
I put the money back in my pocket and step through the doorway.
You go ahead and step through the doorway and he's like, hey, come on. Money.
I don't stop. I keep going. Right to wherever
Hey!
room I'm looking for.
Hey, you aren't invited. I'm gonna call probably the cops. Get out. And he just screaming at you without moving.
If this was like a TV show or a movie, I imagine the camera pans back to my face with this guy, gesticulating in
your
the
face
background.
is static and he's just fading more and more into the distance as you walk away.
Yeah, not paying him any attention.
Alright. And you head up the stairs and head towards Harold's apartment. The door is, of course, locked.
I knock.
You knock, and you don't hear an answer. And you most definitely don't feel any heartbeats, at least around you within a few meters. Though, not that he'd have one.
Okay. I guess I will attempt to pick the door. Lock.
Alright. So it is a very poor lock. So you only have to do dexterity larceny at a -1. You definitely have the tools, don't you?
I mean, yeah. I'm assuming this has something to do with sight, doesn't it?
Seeing the lock? A little bit. Mostly feeling it out inside, I think.
Okay, so not my penalty.
Uh, yeah, no penalty.
Okay, but I think I'm going to use the benefits of subject CH5-W11 on this because I need a little bit of help. So I am going to take a point of vitae into this.
Mm-hmm.
Take that off. Make a quick roll. I assume this is just one of those things where I'm showing my character is more than he appears to be. And roll wits and occult. Let me get right to the page. 3 successes.
3 successes. The tumblers click and the door opens, revealing a very messy little room. There's a mattress put up down on the floor, covered in stains, both blood and otherwise. There's a plastic desk to one side with a computer that appears to be on, and in fact appears to have some sort of game up.
It's, like, still there.
Indeed.
But I guess, what do I see in the apartment other than that?
You do see a stack of metal sheets up towards one side of the wall, and a stack of books that appear to be engineering in nature.
Appear to be what in nature?
Engineering.
And the metal sheet is against the wall, like covering a window maybe, or...
Indeed. And of course, it has a, bright new label on it that says a Firestorm Industries.
Okay. Did I turn the lights on when I walked in?
Um, no. It is still dark in the room.
I will attempt to turn the lights on.
You click it on, bringing light to the nerd cave. A few cockroaches stumble around and leave.
Is this a single room apartment, or is it multiple rooms with doors I can't see through yet?
Single room. It's small, cramped, terrible, but assigned and free, probably.
I'll slowly meander to the computer. Just stare at it for a moment. What's on the screen?
On the screen appears to be some kind of MMO. It looks like the character is standing stationary somewhere in the middle of some kind of dungeon. And the chat seems to be focused on a personal conversation.